ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Psychos and Sociopaths, we're going to go over Robert Rozier. It's spelled weird. But anyways, we're going to go over him. He is an NFL defensive end. He played in the NFL while he was hired by the NFL. That's the reason why we got this whole, because I'm going to go over NFL killers and everything. I don't know if I'm going to go over OJ yet. I kept on saying I'm probably not, but then kept on thinking about it. And you know how people that say they're not going to do something, they're going to end up doing it anyways. I'm that type of person. Weird. But on this, he was a murderer, and it's a culty one. It's a fun culty one. I love culty ones because I don't get culty stuff. So let's get into Robert Ernest Rozier Jr., who was born July 28th, 1955 in Anchorage, Alaska Territory. I guess in that time frame, now I'm curious. Alaska was... Oh, by the way, I got new keyboard stuff. I'm moving on to the east side. And was good. State 1959. So it was the territory. Okay, right on. Okay. By the way, if you trivia question, Alaska was a state on January 3rd, 1959. That's the reason why they put in the territory. I was wondering that. I was just curious. My mind just blinked and got weirded out. And I was like, when did, okay. Now, at Cordova High School in Rancho Cordova, California, he scored a 1.32 grade point average and did not receive his high school diploma. Rozier was later a student at both Gray Harbor College in Albany, Washington, and also in University of California, Berkeley, majoring in African American studies, but graduated from neither schools. By 1999, Rozier was living in Caron Park, California, owned a car detailing business in Sacramento, worked in web design, and raised 2 kids. Now, that was his personal life. And then let's get into his athletics career. Then we can get into good stuff. At Cordova High School, Rozier was an athletic wonder kid. And the way I got to do the speak and spell. Hold on.
Wonder kind.
But the article I got this from, they have this is so far this is the only misspelled thing, but it's Wunder kind. It's a wonder kid, athletic wonder kid. I'm gonna go back and fix that, or just leave it there. No, I'm gonna leave it there. Mess with people like me that can't read good. I read great, but my mind messes it up going through the filter. That's right. That happens. The team played American football as a defensive end and was all league, all conference, all Northern California. The high schooler could also high jump 6 feet 7 inches for our overseas people that don't use the ruler stuff that we use. That's the only way to describe it. I know I need to pick it up, but it's 2.01 meters. A vertical jump 10 feet, 3.0 meters. And the sprint, a 40-yard dash in 4.7 seconds. It doesn't have a thing for the 40-yard dash. And bench presses 375 pounds. That's 170 kilos. I don't know what 100 in stones. I'm curious. Yes, I'm going to do this right here. We're going to make this a little bit, because I'm curious, because I don't think we have people in Scotland or anything. And that's 26 stones. I love that one. Of all the measuring stuff, was like, how much can you have? 26 stones. That's right. I can do 26 stones. That's horrible accent, but we're going to go with it. Screw you people. You shouldn't. That want to make fun of me. Nah, I like being make fun of. I'm a more critic. When he was passed over to play college football for lacking his Cordova High School diploma, he was enrolled in Gray Harbor College, where he eventually recruited by University of California, Berkeley football coach Mike White. At California, team captain Ralph DeLacho described Rozier as the best athlete on the team. In his professional career, he was 6 foot 3 inches, 1.91 meters, and 240 pounds, 110 kilos. Rozier was drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, which are now the Arizona Cardinals, in the 9th round in 1979 NFL draft. A defensive end, Rozier played as number 75 for 6 games in 1979, starting for none of them. Rozier's professional sports career in the States was derailed by allegations of drug use and petty crime, which there were. I had to go through a laundry list to find a criminal football player for these episodes, and yeah, there's a lot of them. Sadly enough, just because you're a professional football player doesn't mean you don't have fucked up times. Rozier, professional sports career in the United States. He played in the Canadian League, playing for the Hampton Tiger Cats. That's a weird name. And the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. And finally signed with the Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders is now the Las Vegas Raiders. But at the time, Oakland Raiders was a team reputation for collecting misfits. But he only played for them for about 2 weeks. Now his criminal career, and we won't get into. He did bad check fraud, and a lot of killers, they do fraud at the same time to make sure they can get their killings on, so they can be murkers. But anyways, after meeting founder of Yahweh be Yahweh, and yeah, that's an actual thing, of the Nation of Yahweh, in 1982, by Rozier had become an name word is messing up.
Ardent.
Ardent subsequent of the Nation of Yahweh, a religious movement that teaches that African blacks are the true Jews. He donated all his possessions and took the name of. I got Israel part. The last part is Israel.
Neri Israel.
Neri Israel. I never heard of a Jewish cult, but this is the first, and that's weird. In an effort to join the Yahweh Brotherhood, a secret group of tall, muscular young men available for discreet missions called the Brotherhood. Rozier undertook the initial killings of random white devils in 1986 in the April 1986. God, dyslexia, it's a bitch sometimes. And in the Miami neighborhood of Coconut Grove, Rozier followed a drunk white man to his apartment and killed him and his roommates with a 6-inch Japanese knife. I'm thinking I know what this is. Let me see here. I think I know what they are.
6-inch, 150 millimeters Japanese knife.
No, whatever. I think I know what it's called. It was no, just regular butcher knife. I was thinking of something else. There's an actual 6-inch Japanese knife that samurais used to use. On September 5th, Rozier and other Brotherhood members killed the unconscious 61-year-old Raymond Kelly, who was parked in a bar parking lot. The two men caught off the victims there to show Ben Yahweh. And when and then they lost it, so they had to return to the body and cut up the other. 15 days later, Rozier and 3 other Yahweh killed 45-year-old Cecil Branch, stabbing him 25 times in retaliation of previous confrontations. On October 27th, 1986, the nation of Yahweh brought a five building apartment complex, Oak Block, California, for $480,000, equivalent to 1.19 million in 2021, under the speculations of trying to improve the property. Yahweh's members spent the week attempting to evict residents. In October 31st, 28-year-old Anthony Brown and 37-year-old Ralph Rozier. No, that's wrong. There's some Broussard were shot to death, and Rozier was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder. Upon Rozier's arrest, he told police that he was 440 years old and couldn't remember his life before conversation. Wow, wow, that doesn't speak out crazy. I don't smell crazy on that, not one bit. I mean, he looking at his picture, he's pretty good for a 440-year-old. For 7 months, the national support Rozier with the nation, Yahweh, supported Rozier with a lawyer, Ellis Rubin, and public relations campaign. When Rozier issued an ultimatum to the church for a different lawyer, he was excommunicated. Excommunicado. In March 1988, Rozier turned state evidence in exchange for a 22-year sentence. He told of the nation of Yahweh crimes to the Metro Da. Oh, come on now. Metro Da Police Department. Some murders were committed in retaliation. Some members of the church would brag about killings on behalf of the group, and a church rumor told of its involvement in the 1983 public beating death of martial artist Leonard Dupree. Rozier also explained about the Brotherhood and intention and its purpose. All told, Rozier professionally confessed to 4 murders. By 1990, the MDPD had built a 14 murder conspiracy indictment against 16 members of Yahweh Nation and their spiritual leader, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. This case relied heavily on Rozier's claims, a vector of the attack used by Yahweh. Criminal defense lawyer Patrick Williams defending Judith Israel, aka Linda Gaines, claims of Robert Rozier is singing a song in order to avoid a life sentence or death sentence. Curtis Jones defending Isaiah Solomon, Israel, aka James Littlejohn. I would have kept Littlejohn. Sounds better. I'm not gonna lie. I like a lot of Robin Hood little. Anyways, alleged that he was a biggest liar. I dare say the man would lie on his mother, much less Yahweh Ben Yahweh. His friends and associates had been able to allude to old Sparky, Florida's electric chair, 4 times. Despite the attacks on Rozier, the MDPD had never caught the man in a lie. Ultimately, Ben Yahweh was acquitted of murders after Rozier was discredited. For his 22-year sentence, Rozier was in prison outside of Florida under a new name consisting of the United States Witness Protection Program. In 1996, after 10 years behind bars, Rozier was paroled with a new identity, Robert Ramis. In 1999, he expressed rumors of his crimes, telling the Sociopath that he had rebuilt his life in an intensive spiritual and intellectual transformation. His third strike on February 5th, 1999, Rozier was arrested as Ramis by El Dorado County of California sheriff's deputies for a bouncing checks, $66 equivalent in 2021. It was $107.36. Rozier's volunteered his criminal past, former identity, through the new charges would otherwise be a misdemeanor under California's new 3-strike law. State prosecutor fought felony charges. His bail was set out $10 million. By May 2000, Rozier was in prison in Salt Lake, Tahoe, California, waiting for a jail trial. At the conclusion of his trial, Purcellville, California, Rozier convicted of bouncing 27 checks for a total of $2,200 and was sentenced for prison for 25 years to life on January 12, 2001. Under witness protection alias, Rozier was denied parole on February 16th, 2022, and was not eligible until his hearing until 2027. Now, wow. Now I think hold on real quick. I'm curious because I think Dan Cummings from Time.
Yay woo.
I hit the speech thing so many times I keep on hitting it. But I think Dan Cummings from Time Suck Black Magic Production actually did a whole thing on Yahweh Nation of Huawei. Let me check this out. Time Suck. Come on. Let's do it this way then. Sorry. Yes, he did. Nation of Huawei cult, murder, manipulation, and black supremacy. So yeah. If you want to look at that, I'll put it in the stuff in here. Oh, let's go over. Let's get out of that. Get out of that. Okay. I'll give you a little bit more description of the nation of Huawei. The nation of Huawei is permanently a Black Hebrew Israelite religion movement, what was founded in 1979 in Miami by uh, Holton Mitchell Jr., who went by the name Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Yahweh is the proper name of Abrahamic God. So Wahe, dang it, I'm messing that.
Yewu.
Yewu. God, I messed it up. Huawei. Yewu Ben Weiwu literally means God, son of God. Its goal is to move African Americans who it believes are the original Israelites to Israel. The group accepts Yahweh, Yahweh, God,
Yewu.
Yewu Ben Wei Yewu as a son God. And in this way, it believes are unique and distinct from those of other Black Hebrew Israelite groups. Its founder, Holton Mitchell, was indicted with federal racketeering and extortion charges and convicted of conspiracy to commit murder. The group is classified as a Black supremacist cult by Southern Property Law Center and as a cult by the Miami Herald. The organ described itself as the following. In 1979, Yiwu Ben Yiwu came to Miami, became the spiritual leader and founder of National Yiwu. Although he took a vow of poverty, in 7 years he guided the National to amass, Jesus fucking Christ, $250 million empire. Jeez. Under his discretion, the man, I wish I could con people to give me that much money. Yeah, I am not that charismatic. Jesus. The nation has grown to encompass disciplines, followers, and supporters in other 1,300 cities within the U.S. and 16 in other countries. So it is actually a big cult. And yes, I'll say cult. Current activities on this, despite the conviction and incarceration until 2001, the court mandated isolation from the nation of Yiwu of its leader, Yiwu Ben Yiwu. Man, I'm just going to memorize that now. And his death in 2007, the nation of Yiwu is still active and still considered Yiwu Ben Yiwu. God damn. To be a messiah, and website complaining to have abandoned their past racism, and the leader of the leader's daughter has apparently stated that all people are children of God. An attorney who is also a member of the group, Wendell Rush, insists that its current war with the United States government is a nonviolent verbal battle. The group is reportedly separate, spread throughout the United States, and no longer considers one in one location, formerly in Miami-Dade County, Florida. It claims that its presence literature downplays and has never erased all past racism and the past criminal behaviors of its leaders and followers. And the nation of Yiwu is a purchaser of the National Informational Times. Informal. God. Come on. There we go. Speaking of
Infomercial.
infomercial times. The nation it had infomercials of national infomercial time. Okay, the nation of Yiwu is a particular national infomercial time. The nation airs a weekly half-hour program on stations across the United States, usually on weekends during little watched early morning hours, to combat Bible studies with discussions about the nation. The Wee Woo group appears in the news again in 2012 after Michael the Black Man, real name Maurice Woodside, a former member of the group who is now a conservative active who was invited to speak on the rally of Rick Sorum. That's not who I think it is it? Okay, yeah. Rick Sorum presidential campaign during which he said that the Democrats were akin to Nazis. I hadn't heard that before. I guess that's where it started. Democrats were Nazis. Now Democrats are calling Republicans Nazis. Fuck them all. Woodside has since became a vocal supporter of Donald Trump, but continues to defend Huawei Ben Huawei and his the national beliefs. I guess we can do one of these days. I'll do it. I'm not gonna do as good as Cummings, but I'll try because he has better editors and I'm just the editor on this one. Now, back on to Robert or Bobby Rozier. Honestly, he was always a criminal, and this is just my going off on this. He it looks like he was always a criminal. He pretty much didn't have, and this is just going on the aspects of his grade point average. Now, you can't really use the grade point average on a person's the high school grade point average on a person's intelligence. And the reason why I say that is because I probably barely graduated high school. But when I was in college, I had a 4.0. It's really much the able to grow type still. But anyways, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube or Rumble or Spotify now, I'm downloading the videos on the Spotify now. So if you want to watch us, listen to us, and babble about weird stuff and sports now, welcome to it. Thank you for all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a review. Give us all the stars that we can so we can get more money and get better equipment. Thank you all. Love you guys. Bye.